This week's astrology. And this week we are coming out of that powerful new moon that we had last week. Now, the new moon last week, you might have found on Wednesday, even Thursday, a lot of emotion coming up tears, crying, frustration, and anger, and really the universe giving you exactly the experience you need for that emotion to be released. As we head into this week, you can find that where you couldn't find clarity with that new moon, something starts to shift. It's as if the universe is giving you focus on the back of that release. And that's because we're now in a 6-month cycle from that new moon where it's almost like a hunt. There is a demand for focus, a demand for you to have clearer vision and for that ignorance that was blocking a bigger vision to have now been released so that you can start to move in a new direction, which is going to take you through to the full moon at the beginning of next year, which will be in Gemini in sidereal astrology. But let's jump into this week. You know, it's definitely like the beginning of this year was always going to be really interesting astrology. Interesting, as in bringing up necessary conflict. I know there are a lot of astrologers going like, is there going to be war? Is there not going to be war? And yes, like this is all this churning that we're in is leading us to some pretty phenomenal energy towards the end of the year, as well as next year and the year after. It's almost like this churning, kind of similar to the new moon last week, but on a meta level or on a bigger scale, is bringing up what we as a collective need to digest. So just keep that in mind. We are still within that kind of realm where Neptune and Saturn are sitting together, which I've been speaking about for the past couple of weeks. And they're going to be together, I think, until the 23rd of August, or they're going to be within 2 or 1 degree of each other until the 23rd of August. But they're currently in a really hard and challenging aspect with Jupiter, which at a collective level is playing out like citizen journalism and communication and grassroots movements, essentially bursting the bubble on government, bursting the bubble on hierarchy and institution that actually no longer serves the constituents it was designed to serve for. And I think we're starting to see the fallout of that, but it will continue. So just keep that in mind as an overarching theme going on. Let's break down the week. So today, 29th of June, we have Venus entering Taurus in sidereal astrology, and she's going to be sitting with the asteroid Ariadne. She's going to be in Taurus until the 27th of July. And within a part of Taurus associated with the Pleiades called Kritika Nakshatra until the 8th of July. And what that means is Venus, there's a sense of returning home. Like Venus is coming back into her home in Taurus. And she's grounding a lot of the questions we might have had about finances, the questions we've had about what we need to own or not own, the questions we've had about relationships and how to practically move forward. This is really a month, a period of seeing how you're valuing yourself, how you're valuing your energy, but that is going to be playing out in the material realm. So just be aware it will be playing around in discussions around finances, discussions around exchanges of energy, like where you say yes to something or no to something, where you say yes to something and you undercharge, or you do it because you're trying to make someone else happy instead of finding that middle ground where you're actually honoring what you're giving. It's a really beautiful grounding energy for Venus to be in. So just know that it can kind of ground a lot of the energy that you're experiencing with Venus retrograde through March and April while she was in Pisces. That was very like spiritual and very like the ancestral underpinnings of self-worth. And as she moves into Taurus, it's like, okay, cool. So how does that like practically play out in life? She's with Ariadne as well. And so Ariadne is the goddess of the labyrinth, which I feel like is a beautiful explanation for the material realm or for Maya, the illusion. And Ariadne is going to be teaching us that the only way out is through. There's going to be some things that you have to experience over this month to the 27th of July that Venus is in Taurus that are a part of your karma. It's a part of what you're here to learn. So even though That when you have that sense of like, oh, I just said yes to something and it doesn't feel right, or when stuff comes out about money or possessions, like if you're selling a car or a house or even just selling something on a marketplace, whatever plays out in those interactions is actually teaching you, like you're learning about yourself. And just remember that, like, you have to go through these situations to come to know yourself. They're not arbitrary. The universe never wastes energy. Nothing is a mistake in this world. And that's really important. I think, just as a general thing to remember, it's definitely something I have to often remind myself of when things don't go the way I think that they should. Nothing is a mistake. And the universe never wastes energy. Even when things in the moment might look like, oh, that wasn't meant to happen, or if it only it had gone like this, there are no mistakes. It is a setup for our total self-realization and enlightenment. And actually, when there's a gap, like when it's like, I believe it should have gone this way, but it actually went this way, that is where the enlightenment happens. It's in that tension between the mind and God, which is reality. And that's where we get to grow. So just keep that in mind. Mercury is going to be opposed Pluto today perfectly, which can bring up a bit of tension. Like, it can bring stuff up that's been hidden, particularly in government, in organization, and there can be a lot of tension between voices, what people want, and the sense that there's like a lot of duality at play, like in the media or even in conversations that you're having. And it can be very easy for disagreements to play out today. So I would just be very, if you can, be very mindful with your words. And if disagreements do come up, just take it in stride, learn from it, see what it is, even if you disagree with what they're saying, see if there might be something in what someone else is saying that might possibly be true. Now, the start of today can be a little bit itchy, and that's because the moon is Gandanta. It's sitting just between Cancer and Leo in a quite a tense little spot in the zodiac. So just know if you wake up this morning and you feel a little bit out of sorts, or things just like you can't quite put your finger on it, but it's like Sunday and you're meant to be relaxed, but you're not. It's the moon and it will quickly shift. Don't let that frame your day. So as the moon slowly moves into Magha Nakshatra, into Leo, you can find that this day, like that Sunday, is actually a great day for vision, a great day for inspiration. And there can be a little bit of tension just around like having grand visions of what you might want to do or what you want to bring into the world. And then the tension around, okay, but how do I practically make that happen? If you can, try to stay up here, try to stay up in the world of inspiration, and like just enjoy that running through you. It's a really beautiful day also today to connect with your ancestors, to really connect with the people that came before you, that created you. And it's actually really funny even bringing that up. It's something we've been talking about while I've been in India. The idea that like when we look at ourselves in the mirror, how we think, this is me and I'm unique. No, we wear the face of the people that have come before us, and we wear the body of all of our ancestors put together. It's not even really our body. And so it can be a really beautiful day as those visions and that inspiration comes through, to connect to the people that have come before you, whose biology has led to you being here, and really hooking into the fact that you're very small in comparison to all life that has been on earth. And it took all of these random, not so random because there are no mistakes, all of these individuals to create you. Now, as we get into Monday, 30th of June, Mercury retrograde shadow begins. So it's not Mercury retrograde yet, but Mercury is going to be showing us, he's giving us a preview of what we're going to be learning when he stations retrograde on the 18th of July. So I'd be saying a great way to use this period between the 30th of June to the 18th of July is just take note. Take note of the emotions that are coming up for you, because Mercury will be retrograding Cancer in sidereal astrology. So what emotions are showing up for you? Where are there conversations with family or around your home life or around property or with your mother, whether she's here or not? memories that are coming up around that, around your sense of belonging, around where you try and protect yourself, around where you find it really hard to be vulnerable. Notice where conversations are playing out around that, because that will become a really big theme from the 18th of July. And we can use Mercury shadow to kind of, it's almost like to get fit. That's a really bad way to describe it, but it almost gives you like a level of fitness before Mercury retrograde hits. So you can start to know what's coming, but also almost start to preemptively work through it before Mercury stations retrograde. Now, the moon on Monday through to Wednesday is going to be in a two lunar mansions, which is called the Phalgunis, and they basically they deal with, and it's between Leo and Virgo, they deal with commitment. So it really feels to me like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can find that the mind is really driving you towards what commitments do I have, what contracts maybe you need to sign if you're in that kind of world. Um, and there can also be a big focus on like marriage, soul connections, partnerships, relationships. It can just naturally be something that the mind is chewing through and playing with. What's really nice about this period, Monday through to Wednesday, is even though there's a lot churning in the universe, you can find that the mind naturally wants to have a little bit of a rest. It kind of wants to just enjoy how hard it's worked so far this year, how hard it's worked so far, even on the weekend and last week. And so it can be a really beautiful time, Monday through to Wednesday, just to plan something really joyful for yourself, something to reward yourself. And the mind, you might find, just automatically wants to do that. Monday through to Wednesday are really days of like prosperity and creativity. It's not about like putting the nose down and like working really, really hard. The mind will find that quite hard to do. So if you can plan around that, instead look for joy. Find moments to like reward yourself. Find moments to like rest a little bit more and really like luxuriate. Now on Tuesday, Mars is going to join the moon in Purva Phalguni, or in that Phalguni part that I was just talking about, which is all nakshatra, lunar mansions, which are all about commitment, creativity, and prosperity. And so Mars is going to be entering Purva Phalguni, which is a part of Leo, until the 23rd of July. It will be in the same sign as Mars, and it will be very close. And the moon will be with the south. No, sorry, the moon will be with Mars on Tuesday, and also with the south node. I feel like Tuesday is a great day to start new things. Not Monday so much, but Tuesday is a really great day if you want to start something new. It can bring forth the action and the demand to create, to make things happen. And while Mars is in Purva Phalguni from Tuesday through the 23rd of July, you can find that you want to act on commitments. You can find that you want to connect with maybe like one-on-one with like soul friends or with soulmates. If you are in a committed relationship or even the starts of a relationship, it can also lead to the action of committing to that person, and actually finding joy in that relationship. On Wednesday, the sun is going to be conjunct Magdalena. I love this. It's also going to be sitting with Jupiter. Like, I feel like we really deserve this. The tension with it is it's squaring Saturn and Neptune. For me, I look at this and I'm like, miracles are possible on Wednesday. Things that we didn't think could happen can happen. And for me, this really is, feels like it will play out at a collective level. So things that we've just been like put on a back burner, like there's no way governments, institutions will ever do this thing. There's a likelihood they can, because there'll be something unexpected that will come up, a miracle of sorts. And I feel like a lot of that will have to do with like the leaking of information. So just pay attention to that. It's one of the many dates where there'll be a lot of citizen journalism activity, a lot of social media activity, which is helping to drive change within government, institution, and hierarchy. Now, the moon on Wednesday, like late Wednesday Arvo, will move out of the Phalgunis, which was all about commitment, into Hasta. And Hasta Nakshatra, which is a part of Virgo, can make the mind a little bit unstable. So just notice from like late Wednesday to early Thursday, the mind can be a little bit like agitated. And no, it's just cosmic. Like you're a cosmic conductor. It's just picking up the energy of the cosmos. It's all good. You can find that that instability is coming from the mind wanting to control the uncontrollable. So just know, like, be really careful Wednesday and Thursday. Just try not to mess with stuff. I often think of Hasta Nakshatra because it's the hands. It's kind of like the inner hands, and they always want to come out and try and control and meddle and rearrange. Instead of doing that, see if you can leave your hands open to receive what the universe wants to give you, and try not to control. And if you want to, question, where does that need for control come from? What is it trying to do? Um, on Thursday, we got some nice energy on Thursday. Venus will be conjunct Uranus, and Uranus is trine Pluto, and it's sextile, which is in harmony with Saturn and Neptune. Really nice. Something is starting to shift. It can feel like there is fortuitous circumstances which are helping us at a collective as well as individual level address the change that we need to make individually in how we perceive the world and collectively in how we operate as community. The moon is going to be moving between signs. It'll be moving out of Chitra Nakshatra into Swati Nakshatra. So I would be saying again, Thursday, it's a day to stay away from analysis. Instead of trying to analyze what's going on in front of you or trying to find logic and reason, see if you can find yourself a creative outlet, something to inspire you, to lift you above the mire, to lift you out of what's going on. I also feel like Thursday, there's an opportunity for unexpected news to be revealed around money, the transfer of wealth, the economy, something with the transfer of money between countries, even. But secrets to come out, which will be really formative for our collective evolution. And finally, Saturday. Saturday, Neptune stations retrograde in Pisces in a house called Uttara Bhadra within Pisces, and it will be retrograde until the 10th of December, so the end of this year. I personally love a Neptune retrograde. For me, like Neptune is naturally a planet which is inward looking. And so when it goes retrograde, it's really like it's hooking us into ancestral energy, it's hooking us into repeated patterns. And because it's sitting with Saturn and it's such a formative part of the astrology at the moment, I feel like what it's going to do is we'll get this opportunity as a collective between Saturday and the 10th of December to go, okay, where in history have we seen these patterns of behavior before? And you might already know this, but it's more like it clicking at a bigger level. Like, oh, trauma repeats itself in cycles. Governments repeat themselves in cycles. Um, and it's all there to teach. So starting to understand and then also understanding how the trauma, which is inflicted at an institutional level, affects the population and creates more trauma. So yeah, so it's like big realization there. You can also find that, like your dreams and your intuition really spikes and becomes very personal from Saturday. What I love about Saturday is Mars is going to finish its square or its challenge with Uranus, which should feel really good. The tension, the unexpected anger, the unexpected, even like patterns of behavior and things you've been seeing in the world, as well as personally, things coming out of the blue that have been kind of like shocking you, that will be coming to an end, at least for a little bit. So it can almost be a day like Saturday, a nice day to celebrate. The moon is going to be in Swati Nakshatra on Saturday. And with that, consider your own destructive tendencies. So you can find that you get the opportunity with the mind on Saturday to see how when things don't go its way, how it kind of wants to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And the correction to that is see how instead of that form of destruction, you can take what's been showing up for you, what's been happening in your life, and allow it to change form, allow it to move into something new, to create something new instead of just like destroying it altogether and burning it to the ground. This is actually a really beautiful day on Saturday to travel, to move, and to allow something to change form, like I was saying, from what was originally into something else. It's really a day where there's a lot of movement in the mind. And so what can be a great thing to do is like to get that movement into the body to support the mind. I'll quickly say a Sunday because it's a day I'm looking forward to. The sun will be conjunct Sirius. And I would normally do a meditation working with Sirius, but because on Sunday I'm starting the Goddess Embodied Astrology 9-week course, we're going to be working with the goddess Isis, which is Sirius's form, as well as the asteroid Isis on that day to start that mystery school. There's still places available if you feel called, if you want to deepen your connection to the divine feminine, you want to deepen your connection to your own astrology, working with the asteroids, working with the forgotten feminine within a chart. I would love for you to join us if you feel called to. There's details below. I know this has been way longer than normal, so but I'm wishing you a wonderful week. And I hope that this forecast serves you in helping to plan and work with the cosmic energies.